Tutorial Homelab. How to set up and config pfsense. Chapter 1, Basic Setup and Config. First, we need a flash drive and use Rufus program to write pfsense ISO to our USB stick. All the settings in Rufus leave default, no need to change anything. Next, plug in a LAN cable from ISP converter or router to the first one, and the other LAN cable to LAN port on pfsense device to a switch or a computer. Finally, plug in the flash drive to the USB port like video. Now pfsense device will boot into USB flash to start the installation process. The setup process is very easy, all the settings leave it to default. When the setup is completed, we need to config some WAN and LAN interface for pfsense. By default, pfsense we automatically choose the LAN and WAN interface. But to make sure it's correct, I will edit it manually. Now, at the computer that connects to our pfsense at the LAN port, open the web browser, then access to the pfsense IP address that we just see in the pfsense screen. By default that IP address will be 192.168.1.1. And to make sure the IP address will be generated correctly, we open the command line program and input the command ipconfig/release and ipconfig/renew. After that, we copy the default gateway IP address and input to our web browser to access pfsense setup wizard. Now, we input the username admin and the password pfsense to start the wizard process. In the first step, we can change the host name, use a domain or add a DNS server. In my opinion, we should add the DNS server only. Click Next, then on the setup time date, choose your time zone. On step 4 at the WAN interface, choose your WAN type. Depending on your network, we choose the suitable type. In my case, the PPPoE setting is the right one, then we input the username and password provided by our ISP. At the bottom of this section, make sure to uncheck block others traffic to access WAN. If we check it, maybe we cannot access pfsense web management. Then we set up our LAN IP address or we leave it to default, because I don't want to use the common IP network, so I will change it. The final step is changing our admin password. Now, we need to force our computer to get a new IP address, so we use the command before to release the old IP address and get a new one. As you can see, we now get the new IP address. Now we access the pfsense web management and review our settings. We log into pfsense by new password. We have changed it before. Now we try to access the internet by using a website for measuring our internet speed. As you can see, we got some error related to DNS, so I checked my DNS server at the command line program, and the DNS IP is my pfsense IP address. So I open pfsense web management, access the services menu, then click on the DHCP section, scroll down and look for the DNS server. Input your DNS server that you want to use, then click Save. To make sure pfsense complete using my custom DNS server, I access the system and click on the general setting. At the DNS resolution behavior, I change the default value to use a remote DNS server, not a local DNS, then click Save. Now we force our computer to clear the DNS cache by using command ipconfig/flush DNS. And we refresh the speed test web page. As you can see, our internet is now working properly. Chapter 2, Set up load balancing on pfSense. If our home used two different internet providers, or more, then we need to use load balancing to combine bandwidth or backup internet access. To do that, we need to plug the LAN cable from another ISP converter or router to the second one on the pfSense device like video. We access pfSense Web Management, then create a new WAN interface on the new WAN port. Based on your new network, choose the right connection type of your WAN. In my case, I will use DHCP type. We save and apply to create a new WAN interface. Next, we need to create a group for these two WAN for load balancing. To do that, we go to the System menu, then click to the Routing section, switch to Gateways Group tab, then click on Add button to create a new group. First, we input the name for this group. Then at the Gateways priority, we change the value from tier column from never to same tier. If you want to combine two bandwidths, the lower tier is the more priority for transfer traffic. If one of your WAN is broken, pfSense will naturally use the other WAN for transfer traffic. Now the final step is to make a rule in the LAN interface to force all traffic to go into our gateway group that will combine bandwidth from two WAN. To do that, we click on the Firewall menu, choose the Rules section, switch to the LAN tab, then click on Edit at the LAN for IPv4 traffic. Then scroll down to find the Display Advanced button, click on it, scroll down and change the gateway from default value to our group balancing, click Save, then Apply. Now we need to test if our load balancing rule is working or not. For easy to see, I will add a traffic graph to the dashboard of pfSense. We return to the speed test page to make a bandwidth test. My first WAN interface has 12 megabytes per second, the second one has 15 megabytes per second, so in theory, if the load balancing works, the total bandwidth should be 27 megabytes per second. As you can see on the speed test page and the traffic graph, all traffic from LAN is transferred to 2 WAN, so the load balancing is working properly. Chapter 3, How to upgrade pfSense Community to pfSense Plus for free. First, we go to the pfSense website, then we click on the Buy Now button on the top right corner. An online shop of Netgate will show up. We choose the pfSense Plus product menu, then click on pfSense Subscriptions. At this item, there are many options for buying, but you should choose the Home or Lab version. Do not choose the TAC Lite because in the future, the price will increase from $0 to $129 and we're not able to downgrade the version. Click on the Checkout button to start the payment, log into our Netgate account, fill in the billing information, then wait for the email to inform you success to receive a code for pfSense Plus. Open on the email with the subject name as Activation Token, copy the activation code, then open pfSense Web Management, click on System menu, then choose Register. Paste the token into the text box, then click on Register button. A text will appear upon the text box to inform us success to register pfSense Plus. Now we click on the System menu and choose Update. Then we change the value from latest stable release to latest pfSense Plus stable version, then click Confirm. The process takes about a couple minutes. We wait until pfSense automatically reboot. After a successful reboot, we log into the pfsense web interface, and as you can see, our pfsense now changes from community version to plus version. Today our tutorial is completed. Please like and subscribe to see many videos in the future.